Hello, and welcome to a very youthful edition of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. I'm very excited to announce on the show today, Man Kam, or Cameron Brown. He's an up-and-coming drywall extraordinaire with a knack for fancy videos and a fantastic personality. We discuss working with Columbia tools, specifically the throttle box, how he got into the trade, subcontracting, and a little bit about running your own business. And we talk about his trailer setup, which is fantastic, and also wallpaper, and a little bit about Fresco Harmony, and why he chooses the 5-inch knife over
dudes that I worked around always used a 6, and I always found it weird when somebody wasn't using a 6.
I was brought up to use a 6 and just started using. I've actually found
switched.
There's a job that we did. Another crew. There's another drywall company in our area. Another crew came in and textured my ceilings. Like I wasn't even skimmed. Like the whole house was bedded, and this crew showed up, textured my ceilings.
Nice.
I get a call. It was like deer season. I wasn't even at work. I get a call and said, "Hey, did you texture those ceilings?" I'm like, "No." Well, who did? I don't know. So
they better get out their tomahawk skimming blades.
Anyway, when I got back to the job, I found a 5-inch knife on that job from where those guys left it, and that was my first 5-inch knife, and I've used one ever since. Yeah.
The Drywall Podcast is brought to you today exclusively by Fresco Harmony. Fresco Harmony, making walls better since 2004. Fresco Harmony is the first color line specifically designed for drywall mud. If you have questions about Fresco Harmony, the Drywall Podcast, or anything, you can find us at info@frescoharmony.com. For now, though, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Man Kam, the 21st episode on the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into
Cameron.
What's up, brother?
What's going on? Look at you all pro over there with your microphone and your headphones.
I came prepared.
This younger crowd, I tell you.
How you doing, man?
We'll get into that. I was thinking, but he kind of got offended when I brought up the word millennial. What?
That's your generation, always.
Okay, all right.
Labeling the ages.
Yeah. And it's, dude, I was graduating college or graduating high school like yesterday, so I remember. But like when you get to like into your 40s, it's like you enter this world of like, am I old? You know. Cam, welcome to the Drywall Podcast. Do you prefer Cameron or Cam?
Whatever you want to call me, Nick.
Or Man Kam. I always want to say Man Kam with kind of a Rastafari type of twist on it.
I like it. I've got a playlist that's Rasta Man Kam.
You kind of look you look a little Rasta. So yeah, it's like Man Kam.
Yeah, I like it.
Drywall extraordinaire. You bursted onto the scene in recent days. I mean, like I feel like 2 months ago, I never seen you. I didn't know who you were. And then all of a sudden it's like, I got this sweet Columbia tool and you're busting all these sweet videos.
Now Columbia sending me tools to do little reviews on, and
crazy.
I've gained like 250 followers in the past 90 days. Like, I don't know. It feels like things are starting to blow up.
Weird. And you seem kind of natural with the camera. I was like watching your camera positioning. Like all that seems pretty good. Did you do like some audio visual stuff in high school, or what's the story?
Oh man, this is all learning as I go.
Very cool. Have you made a lot of videos?
No. I'm just now getting into using iMovie and getting better with it.
Interesting. Well, you're very good at it. You're natural, buddy.
Thank you.
What kind of,
at first it was just like a way of displaying my work, and now the like Columbia sending me tools and stuff, it's like now I'm getting to educate people on it more. It's more than just me posting goofy videos of me screwing off at work.
Yeah, but goofy videos are fun too. We try to be a little bit goofy here on the Drywall Podcast just because I think it's fun.
Oh yeah.
And to your credit, you are the first podcastee to have a microphone set up.
Yeah, I told you my brother's like an audio engineer. So as soon as I told him I was going to be on a podcast, he's like, "Bro, I got you."
Okay, I'll hook you up, brother. You're
Yeah,
and what's the age difference between you and your bro?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Nice, awesome. So yeah, Cam, he's you're 28, 27.
27. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And how long have you been in the trade?
4 years, going on 5.
Not too bad, not too bad. So you're pretty much an expert by now.
I'm still learning it. There's still so much to learn.
Yeah,
That's why,
yeah.
that's why I was so hesitant to put my videos out at first, is because like all this stuff that I'm putting out there, I'm learning as I go, man. This commando set, I've never worked with a compound tube up until like the
Right.
past few months,
Sure.
and here I feel comfortable putting my opinion out on it because I've went from hand taping to running the bazooka, and it's basically the middle step. But no, it's kind of weird. Just all these tools, man, are new to me. I started out hawk and trial, and
Yeah.
just seeing all these videos on Instagram, seeing flat boxes and stuff. Now, the guy that taught me, he did run flat boxes, but we didn't run them much.
Right. Who taught you?
A friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah, I quit a job had a slight plan. I didn't have a job interview lined up, but they told me they were going to get me in for an interview. So I quit my job, went like a month, never heard anything about that job interview. And a friend of a friend was like, "Hey, I've finished drywall and kind of looking for a helper. You interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. What the hell? I don't know
Yeah.
anything about drywall. I grew up in a double wide trailer. We had
Yeah.
fucking drywall paneling with the little trim strips.
Beautiful. Love that stuff.
So I'm going in first day of work and thinking, he's told me, we don't hang it, we're just finishing it. I'm like, all right, cool. We're just putting like little finished trim strips up. This is gonna be easy.
Oh,
And
you
we're
were
on our way to
thinking
work.
wood paneling in your brain.
Yeah, like no, like the drywall paneling with like the little wood trim strips that you see. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or not. It's basically like wood paneling, but instead of being wood, it's just drywall. They just
Yeah.
cover the seams with like trim. But
That's
anyway, I get in
funny.
there and he's talking about, using mud and tape on the way to work. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Get there and a whole different world, man. Gets me on the stilts the first day. I'm walking up and down the steps like a natural. I'm like, man,
Oh
I like
yeah?
like if drywall doesn't work out, I'll just go join the circus. Like this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Stilts are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he put that hawk and trowel in my hands, and you're watching somebody work that mud. It looks so easy. He put that mud on that trowel, man. That stuff's running straight down on my feet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
But
fun.
you must have liked something about it had to have like attracted you. You must have liked it right away.
Yeah, I always thought I was going to end up in the construction trades. When I was in high school, I told my parents that like we had the trade school where you could go the last 2 years of school, start doing construction trades.
Okay.
And when it came to that time, my parents were like, "No, that's for the slow kids. Like that's not you. You're not gonna. Construction kids don't turn out to
Yeah,
be
it's for
anything."
that's for the losers who want to make
Yeah,
money and don't want any debt.
exactly. Yeah. No, you're gonna go to school and go into debt. No. But when that came, I didn't go to the trade school. Graduated, didn't have a plan. Just started working like odd jobs, little jobs here and there. And I was a mechanic before I started doing drywall. Did that
Okay.
for a year and a half.
What were you
Started
working on as a mechanic?
started out doing just helping out with the oil changes and tire changes, and the position came up. Slowly working my way up. Ended up after like a year and a half, I was changing motors and transmissions.
Nice.
It it was a decent job. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it for a career. I still hate working on cars, but
Yeah, I do too.
it just wasn't me. It came to a point where I was working overtime because obviously I was learning as I went, didn't know how to change motors and transmissions. So it was taking me longer to do the jobs than what was quoted. So I was putting in the extra hours, no problem. Well, it came to payday and I wasn't getting paid for them. And I was like, we need to either start like, I need to be getting paid for the time that I'm here. I'm working like 60 hours a week and only getting paid for 40. And so I was like, we need to start work, either pay me extra or pay me for the time I'm here.
Well, hopefully that only happened once, right?
No, that went on for a few weeks until I finally said something about it. And I said something about it on a Friday. And he said, you know what? It was a husband and wife, small business.
Oh, boy.
I'll talk to my wife over the weekend and I'll come back Monday, talk to you.
Yeah.
So Monday came and I'm in the middle of pulling a motor and nothing was said until like 4:00 that day.
You can listen to this entire podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and also YouTube. Special thanks to Cameron Brown for being on the Drywall Podcast today. If you have any questions about the Drywall Podcast, you can email me directly at info@frescoharmony.com. You can listen to the Drywall Podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and also YouTube. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're always posting cool stuff there. The Drywall Podcast was brought to you today by Fresco Harmony. Fresco Harmony, making walls better since 2004. Fresco Harmony is the world's first color line for drywall mud. Thank you for listening to the Drywall Podcast today. We appreciate it deeply. Join us every Friday for a new episode of the Drywall Podcast. And remember, keep drywalling.